Hi everyone, it is me, Lyric Soul Tarot here. She did not want to put makeup on today, so if I look a hot mess, it's your own dang fault because I had to film this video. Okay. It's my day off, so I did put makeup on, but it's not good, so I just put these glasses on, which hide nothing, so. Alright, so here we go. Back at it again with Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot. Life update though for like Reels days. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen that I actually haven't been doing a lot of my gratitude posts. Like I'll try to post every single day like 3 things I'm grateful for. That's kind of like fell off to like every other day, and now it's kind of like dropped off completely. I think I did 1 this week. And that's mainly because I have not been doing well health-wise, and I don't want to get into it too much because not just females watch my program. Ooh, she's got a program now. Not just females watch this channel, but males as well, and I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable, so. But yeah, that's just some health issues have been going on from the beginning of the week, from Monday. So I'm finally starting to feel better, slowly but surely, but we'll see what the weekend brings. Next week starts school for me already. I want to go back, but I don't. I really enjoyed my month off. Like, I didn't have to like do anything except for work and then these videos, so I really enjoyed that. And it's not that I don't like school. I love school and I love learning. It just takes a lot out of me, especially because I'm taking 18 credits this semester. I'm not thrilled, but I have to do it to graduate. I want to graduate. If you see something in my hair, it's my little bow. I use it to like hold my bangs up when I'm doing taking off my makeup at the end of the day. And I have these little, like, I'm sure you can see them in other videos, but like I have these little like curls that are like super like baby hair and messy, and they're like just like little curls, and they just annoy the shit out. You can see them right here. Look at that. So stupid. Oh, so annoying. Go where you belong, in the garbage. So I just kind of try to clip them up, but they fall out. So anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. I don't want to go back to school. I don't want to take my 18 credits. One of the classes though is like my trip to Paris, so I mean, it's not that bad. And then 2 other classes I have are upper level history classes, but they're with my favorite professor, so not that bad, except for I learned that he's gonna do a group project this semester. He never does group projects, and I'm like upset about it because I hate group projects. Like, even with people I know, I don't like to work in a group. Let me fail on my own accord, or let me, like, you know, like, I'd rather just have my grade in my hand. I don't really want to depend on other people for anything in life, ever. That's hard. Alright, so let's get started. Share the card that was the hardest for you to get when you were first learning the tarot. How do you feel about the card now? So mine are actually a series of cards because my first deck was the Legend, the Arthurian Tarot. And this is what the backs look like. And then it's just, if you've watched my other videos in this series, you've seen it before because I did show it before. This is my very first deck that I learned with. So what was hard about learning with this deck was actually the pages. And they're not, yeah, that was my refrigerator. I don't know if you heard that, but it's crazy loud. You doing okay over there? Goodness, keeping shit cold. But anyways, what was hard to learn in that deck was the pages, because they are not like the rest of the court cards. Here, let me just pull some court cards for you to like compare. Of course, now I can't find any. That, of course, would be the case. Here's a king, there's a queen, there's a knight. Perfect. Look at that. I love it when you work with me. All right, so here's a king. This is King of Cups, I believe. No, King of Swords. Sorry. It says right there. Dumbass, King of Swords. So that's King of Swords. Here's Queen of Spears. Right? And then Knight of Shields, which are pentacles in this deck. So that's the court, right? Except for the page, which I haven't shown you yet. And this is what was difficult about learning pages. So this is the Page of Cups. A fish, water, I get it, right? Salmon. But if you don't know, and this is probably why I'm not like a fan of animal decks, here's the Page of Shields. It's a Page of Pentacles. Badger, earthy, I get it. Page of Swords, sneaky snake, I get it. And then Page of Wands is the rabbit. So if you're learning with your first deck, also they kind of look like Harry Potter colors, ladies, gentlemen. So that's what was hard for me to learn, like the page and really like grasp an understanding of the pages. And it wasn't until just recently where I started to actually get the pages, you know what I mean? Because like I still had this learning base in my mind, which isn't really a good learning base because I relied heavily on the book when it came to the pages. At one point I didn't need anything, like any resources or whatsoever to like read into the cards, except for when it came to the court cards. Actually, even like the knights and the queens and the kings, I still didn't have a good grasp on them. But especially the pages, because if you don't know anything about like the animals that represent it, if you don't know anything about like how the animal relates to those qualities, you know what I mean? Like it was just difficult, and it still is a little frustrating sometimes. And that's probably why I don't like animal decks. Like everybody's flipping their shit over the Animal Monday cards like right now, and personally I haven't seen, I've seen like maybe one card from that, and that's the Three of Swords, and it looked interesting, but like if it's a deck full of animals, like I don't know, maybe I just have that bias from working with this deck for so long, and not getting it, you know? I don't know. But now like I'm working with the pages. Pages mean messages. So I'm getting there. How about we say that? I'm getting there. I still have to like rely on other sources when reading for like court cards, or yeah, for reading for court cards, I still have to rely on like other sources, like the book that comes with it, or, you know, online resources and stuff like that. But we're getting there. A tarot deck that you just had to break up with, it no longer resonates for you. So I recently just gave away my Ophidia Rosa. I gave it away to Samantha Menzo. Hey girl, hey. Who I think is enjoying it. I don't know. I saw a Instagram post that she did with it, so, or was it her Instagram story? Not sure which one it was, but I saw she was using it, so I think she likes it. I don't know. Why am I facing that way? Like, she's like a glamour shots. What is going on here? What? I seriously sometimes just like forget what I'm doing when I look at myself. Oh, Scorpio moon. You sassy little thing. What? No, seriously. Oh, breakup deck. Yeah. Ophidia Rosa. Sammy, hey girl, hey. But no, yeah, I had to break up with it because I was really excited to get it. It was my first indie deck that I ever got. And it just, I saw like a few pictures of it and it spoke to me, and so I bought it. And I bought it to work on my intuition, but it didn't really work out for me that way. So I decided, after working with it for like 6 months, with this fucking makeup, you guys, I hate it. Don't buy it. I'd say what it is, but I don't want to be put on blast. But okay, if you're gonna buy like Fenty Beauty, go ahead and buy everything but the little cream contour set. It comes with cream contour, cream highlight, and then cream lightener, like concealer. Don't buy that, okay? Because it's bullshit. I don't like it. Yeah, I let it go. I don't know where I was going with this story. I'm just talking. You know how I do is just talk. If you could design a 79th tarot card that everyone would use, what would it look like? What would it represent? Girl, I don't know. It's pretty rounded out to me. I guess I would do a card that more clearly is like about choices. So like, I know we have multiple cards in the deck concerning you have to make a choice, right? A lot of cards in here could be used for like that, like choices, like justice. But there's a few that could be used for that. But I'm talking about like a card that very clearly states there are 2 choices that you're facing, or multiple choices that you're facing, and you need to really just like sit with it. And because that's what I feel like I go to tarot most for, lately at least, is I have 2 choices. Which one is better for me? Which one is going to work out better for me? And I do have like a spread that I use. It's not on Pinterest. Maybe I'll do a video about it. I don't know. But there is a spread I use for choices, where it's like one choice 1 or option 1, option 2. I use that a lot. So having like a card that says, hey, maybe you have some choices here, because sometimes we block those out. I think that would be kind of cool. What would it look like though? I don't know. Maybe like 2 roads. 2 roads with a man or a person standing in the middle, and like, I don't know, like maybe there's something in the sky. Maybe there's a mountain in the middle, like, you know, like the pants, and then like the person, and then like in the distance there's like a mountain. Maybe one side has the moon, one side has the sun. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Or like a card for like a higher power. We have the universe card, which I feel like is kind of similar, but I don't know. Does anybody even like the universe card? I never hear anybody talk about it. Is it like overlooked? I think that's a different question for a different time. Moving on. Tarot or Oracle, which would you read with for the rest of your life if you had to pick one, and why? Tarot. Because I don't use Oracle often, which will be changing next month. Not to give anything away, but watch the last video in this series to find out what I'm doing next month, unless you're part of a group on Facebook, in which you probably already know because I posted on there that I would do it. But yeah, Tarot, because I don't really use Oracle. Thoughts on tarot becoming mainstream? I mean, okay. With anything that's becoming mainstream, there's good and there's bad, right? So it's good because we're getting more variety with decks. We're getting more artists interested in creating new decks. So that's good, kind of, not for your wallet, but I mean, it's good to have the variety out there because, you know, like I said last week with the whole Deviant Moon thing, some decks aren't for some people. So it's good to have that variety there where, you know, the people who like the Deviant Moon have more Deviant Moon-like options for their tarot, and people who don't have other options. So that's a good thing about becoming mainstream. The bad thing is, I don't know, I still feel like there's a stigma attached to doing tarot, and I feel like with it becoming mainstream, you see it on, I was watching Criminal Minds the other night, or it was on the other night, and I was just flipping through the channels, and I like stopped on it, and they were like, what's this? It's a calling card. He's never left a calling card before. And like they held up a card and they were like, it's the death card from the tarot system. And I was like, oh God, here we go. But that show actually did an okay job with it, because one of the persons was like, actually, the death card doesn't mean death, it means transformation. And so I was like, okay, well, at least they handled that right. But whenever you see like tarot cards like in a show, in a TV show, you're like, oh, here it comes. Oh, here it comes. It's not gonna be good. It's gonna be so bad. Oh, here it comes. And usually the person doing like the tarot cards are like really over exaggerated in terms of like character, and they're like thought of as crazy and, you know, out there and out of touch with reality, which in most cases is completely wrong. Like, we're all very aware of reality. Well, not all of us, but most of us. So it's just frustrating that, but that's like TV shows, you know what I mean? But that's what people will be getting exposed to first if they don't know anybody personally who does tarot. And, you know, a lot of people aren't very forthcoming with the information that they do tarot because of, you know, these societal, you know, stereotypes that people who do tarot have on them already. And, you know, also if you're from a religious family and you know they won't approve, that's another reason to keep it quiet. Like, there's a whole bunch of reasons why people keep, you know, that they do tarot quiet, and it becoming more mainstream is, I don't necessarily think that that's going to help those people who are like quiet about it, because it's just not going to help anything. And if anything, it's just going to bring more attention to them, which I'm sure they don't want. But I don't know. There's good and there's bad. So I just take it with a grain of salt, because honestly, what's mainstream now is not going to be what's mainstream in like 6 months from now or like a year from now. So I just kind of like sit back and wait, I guess. I don't know if any of that made sense. So share your first professional reading experience, either as a reader or a seeker. So I have not read professionally. I've just read for like friends and family. I have not charged any money for any reading I've ever done ever in life. So I don't have that experience. I can just imagine the stories that are going to come out about that. Yeah, so my first professional experience as a seeker I can talk about. I had gotten my cards read before, not professionally because like we didn't pay her any money or anything like that. She was very happy to do it. We would go, I talked about this before in one of my, I think in one of the challenges, one of the questions earlier in the challenge, where we would go over and she would make her Puerto Rican rice dinner and we would help her with that, and then she would read our cards and we would just hang out. So there's that, but we didn't pay her, so I don't count that as like, I mean, she didn't charge us money, so I don't feel like she was like professional, like, you know what I mean? Like she was good, like she was spot on, but she didn't charge us money for it. So that's what I'm assuming this question means. So my first experience with paying somebody to read my cards actually was, how many years ago now? A while ago. Like I said, you guys, I literally seriously have like such a bad memory. I don't know why. I just like, seriously, I think there's something wrong with me. I don't know. Like dates, just like, I know when I was born. That's about it. I know when I was born. I know when my grandmother died, what year my grandmother died. Between that and that, I really don't know what year things happen. I know they happened sometime in my life. Other than that, I can't give you any specifics. It was some years ago. It was a while ago. I would say it was 5 years ago, around then. Feels about right. I feel like I say that for everything. So the only metaphysical shop that offers tarot readings, the closest one to me, was actually 45 minutes away. So my friend at the time and I, we got in the car, we followed Google Maps, and we went and we visited this metaphysical shop. And we just walked in. We didn't intend on like getting a reading or anything like that. We were just like looking for decks. At this point I had only 2 decks. And I had the Arthurian and then I had the Fenestra. And I had some Oracle decks as well. So we were just looking for decks and just to see what was up. So we were walking in, and I'm still friends with her, by the way. The lady who I'm going to be introducing in the story. I'm still friends with her. She's amazing. She comes up, she greets us, and she comes up to us and she's like, to me, she's like, "Are you a Cancer?" And I was like, "No." She was like, "Oh, because I see you like writing." And at that point I was like writing novels and stuff like that, a lot more than I am now. Like since I started school, I haven't been writing any novels, but at that point I was like writing novels like a crazy person. And I was like, "Oh, she knows things." I was like, "Okay." And then she like moved on to my friend and like said some stuff about her. She's like, "What are you?" And I'm like, "I'm a Capricorn." She's like, "Oh." And I was like, "Yes, I'm sorry." So she read our cards for us, and we went back like a couple times when she was still at that shop. And then after she left that shop, we still went to go see her. She's just awesome, and I love her. And I haven't seen her in a long time, only because with school I have very limited chances to go and visit her. Actually, it was over 5 years ago. I want to say like 7 years ago. But yeah, like, so that was my first experience. Like, she was pretty spot on about things. And then I had later, not that day, but like later, I had her read my birth chart, and I found out that there was Cancer in my birth. I'm Cancer ascending. So I was like, that's what she picked up on. So that was interesting. It's fun times. Share one celebrity that you would refuse to read for no matter how much they paid you and why. Well, they're all crazy, so all of them. No politicians, obviously. If a politician came to me and was like, can you read my tarot cards? I'd be like, can you give me healthcare? Can you make education free? Okay. No? Then bye. But honestly, no politician, because honestly, I would just pull like the devil card and be like, oh. And then I'd pull the death card and I'd be like, oh. Oh, it doesn't look good. Then the Three of Swords were like, oh man, it's not looking good for you. The Tower. Just anything to make him go away. But yeah, no politicians, probably no celebrity whatsoever. I don't know. Some celebrities aren't like out of touch with reality. Like you can tell the ones that are like seriously like still in reality. So any of those celebrities, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but any of those I would read for, but anybody else probably not. That is that for this week. We only have 3 days left for this challenge. I cry tears. Yeah, next week I start school, so if you see my next video and I'm wearing the exact same thing, it's an illusion. I didn't record 2 videos on the same day. But seriously, it's been super fun. Like I said, stay tuned for next week's video because I'm going to announce what I'll be doing in February in terms of videos. And I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Bye. This is just for myself. I'm just talking to myself, future me. Hey girl, what you doing? Ew. I had a meeting with the history club because I'm on the history club board. And so we had a meeting and we had talked about everything that we're gonna do for this semester. And I got home and I was like writing everything down in like my planner. And like I've never felt more alive. As a Capricorn sun, I love organization. Like, I love it. My eyebrows look real, she looked real thick today. I kind of like it. I kind of really like it. She looked like thick, like, dark eyebrows. Don't they? Or is it just me? I don't know, I can't really see because the sun's in my face. But I like it. She's like, I'm like, smart and stuff. Anyways.